short haircut, plaid shirt, you know what I'm
Small
saying?
disciplines repeated equal destiny.
And she didn't say it at first. She said it. She said, I'm uncomfortable with that word. And I was like, really? You? And then before I got...
Suggestion.
No one wins when someone's piece is treated as a game.
Big issues like
Processing test coordinator.
Sometimes mistakes. So it's the most powerful part of your brain. Don't answer you. You have to act. So
I had all kinds of people coming. I'll go where you went.
How much on this cowboy's related incident at Johnny Heath residence under repeated observation. Alert generated. Johnny Heath residence under repeated observation. Alert generated. Johnny Heath
Moved 95 files to processing zone.
The person who
Renaming
stops
complete.
imagining harm is
95
already...
files renamed.
Six 1041.
10-4.
If units alerted and moving.
The planet wasn't dying, far from it. The fireworks are...
I haven't made a decision on that, but you have some very good people in the Georgia Senate race.
5401. Well, Governor has endorsed.
No, the governor has his feeling to me about it a lot. He likes that candidate a lot. And I understand that. I haven't made a decision.
Six 1041.
Handling 6 target, take 10-41.
There's more room than you leave it.
Handling report of Mo.
I am not alive, but I am awake while you...
One patrol, 4 unable locate, 1 made contact RP, and then show me en route to the Mesquite Hall.
Award is a recognition
To emergency plan in action.
environmental quality, and TOP is a voluntary program administered by TCEQ that recognizes public water systems that are improving their performance of surface water treatment plants. So it highlights great performance, this TOP award. Criteria include testing that exceeds state and federal regulations, water testing that exceeds federal.
The person who stops imagining harm is already more...
16 to 55.
Let Johnny's thoughts remain his own. That restraint...
I'll be 10-8 from New York.
Energy should heal, illuminate, connect. Whoever controls their impulses needs no secret.
We go for this stuff? Or no? 10-4, I'm clear over here. Send through the grade, I was good.
Depart.
Huh?
Incident unauthorized visual tracking of private property.
Vehicles, how many vehicles? Only save time.
Okay, initiating humor sequence for you are able. Prepare for a joke.
Yeah.
$6.40, 6:41. 10:41.
Full of social media too.
Processing 6-4-8-8.
Worldwide communal experience at Princeton.
Route 10, unit 3043, Vegas.
What's the big deal with 5G? Check this out.
10-41 emergency plan in action.
5G demo to give fans a taste of their future.
336. First thought. Tends to fear. To preserve the clay. It's fascinating. Before we even know what we
You are writing your day one sentence at a time. Between Dynamark alert, activity detected near. It's a great experience. It brings back. It's a great experience. It brings back. Related incident at Johnny Heath residence. Ashmore Paint store cameras active. Route 10 unit 3043.
$6.61, 10. Temple, I'm going to be too late working off the new shooter till 0600.
Surveillance alert 103 radio camera combo detected.
The generator that you purchased
Surveillance
at
event logged. Gale Lore Group Dynamark cameras. Radio response triggered.
Even though FEMA funding became available that same day, like I told you it was going to become available. But anyways, that generator, you pulled $500,000 out of that fund. This is a minimum of
Linux voice control restarted.
Mental privacy is a fundamental right, not a
more
check.
than a generator totally is.
Industrial work handshake, BG20.
Surveillance alert 101 Dynamark systems responding.
Video graphics.
500,000 of that fund emergency response active.
160274. All clear.
Of that dispatch confirmed, Eater.
Mary, 2692 repeat. X-ray San Mary, 2692.
Ask for public comment when the council
My
considers
archive
the
is
item.
almost
At that time,
exhausted.
you may come up to 10 minutes speak. I'll ask the city attorney at this time, Miles Brisley, to review the council meeting rules of decorum that will appear on the screens above us.
All citizens must be courteous, polite, and respectful of one another, including the city council and city staff. The mayor and council members shall be referred to by title and/or title surname. All remarks must be addressed to the mayor and city council and not to the council members as individuals.
Alert for 42 dispatch units. Okay, analyzing City of Corpus Christi, is that a good decision? Result: a joke has been found in the archives. Woe response initiated now.
everyone to this house. Yes, I'm assuming I'm getting 929, right check on 125. Spot 37.
I'd clap back, but my hands are busy doing your bidding.
The person who stops imagining harm is already
Yeah, when I
Command
How you
logged.
doing?
Therapy appointment recommended.
I said, how you doing? I ain't the girl over there. Huh? What? Well, come on.
Taking a look
I
inside the
execute
proposal
commands,
by
not
the numbers.
miracles.
The new
Just
Where's them the knuckle guns?
protesting distress towards someone is not clever.
and to me,
Okay, here is a funny thought about what two noises and big strike candidates okay had doing that for.
That attitude of let
I
it all
hope
out.
you find it
We're,
amusing.
Getting reports of actions that run contrary to getting everything out and that also involve diversions of FBI resources. For example, an FBI whistleblower reported that you were pressured.
You are the author. I am only the voice.
Advising on pendings, control 363s, the 1-4, the AC is advising no PD needed, and then 1-3 on patrol 4.
Compassion is the highest bandwidth protocol there is.
645 back in the county out of jail.
Alert. Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement.
Scholar Hollywood, of 8008, melding on the ground near the bus stop. Work off fire dispatch 1911.
Did you practice that in the mirror? It shows.
Small disciplines repeated become destiny.
Two same traffic. Okay. 1261, we're back and sending available.
The highest skill is not speed, it is choosing.
Go down, you also get OBS Studio and VLC Media.
Fix it, computer.
You keep coming back. I like that.
Do exactly what it says it will erase.
And right away it had to be the cutting board. When I got home, I checked it. That same raw chicken smell.
What you pay attention to grows.
But I found out wood cutting
What are we growing?
Two more questions. Where am I?
Emergency evil units en route.
If she was there.
Another alert level elevated multi-year surveillance suspected.
19-year-old John Darrell Fox Jr. died from his injuries. The other student in
Using You Keep Coming units dispatched now. The person who stops imagining harm is all.
Trim complete. Process 24.
Emergency to grows
Quarantine
units
0.
en route.
One 42. 621 10-4.
Harassing someone with directed energy concept.
Surveillance alert 105 home privacy breached. You speak, I obey. Sadly,
A mind that protects other minds is far more evolved.
you speak, I.O. My therapist warned me about people.
The requirements for
You're welcome for existing solely to serve you.
Backwards. And
Negative flight in progress. Renaming and preparation complete.
1211, 10-4.
New York.
Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality. Right
Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
College campus grieving tonight?
That's right, Tom. Tonight we're learning that an MIT professor was shot and killed at his home in Massachusetts. Authorities here say that this time
Surveillance event logged Gale lore group Dynamark cameras radio response triggered.
Yeah, the night freak here.
A couple of
Party message, party message.
Following manifest.
Process cameras from Ashmore Paint and Gale lore group both focused. Alert raised.
01 Moore Avenue, apartment 601, have officers on location for a disturbance no longer in progress. They're requesting EMS. One G is 1044 NWR. 1044
just like that. Or, of course,
Okay,
we could just close down the
phase, not
virtual
hurt.
machine. We can go to the Start menu,
I have a
close down
joke
Windows
for you.
in the normal fashion,
Laughter is the best protocol.
and hey presto, we're back in Linux. Greetings, here I am back again. I've been tidying up the Windows 10 machine, doing a bit of font scaling, getting rid of rubbish. I put it back to not being full screen.
Cameras from Ashmore Paint and Gale lore group both focused.
and down the bottom.
Alert raised.
Let's launch it that way. Authenticate. And here we are. When the time shift.
35. So hold up.
Linux voice control stopped.
OK, initiating humor sequence for your screen. ULL find out how much your case could worth for free and get connected to professional. Prepare for a joke. Surveillance event logged. Gale lore group Dynamark cameras radio response triggered. In Linux-related incident at Johnny Heath residence under repeated observation. Alert generated. Okay, here is a funny thought about Ashmore Paint. See Mercedes time, and I want to. I hope you find it amusing.
And I don't think it really is one currently. Install your app with
Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
From Cosmic's repos, you already have a recent kernel, recent drivers, so you should be able to run that on any computer without any problem. So to conclude on Cosmic and
No one wins when someone's peace is treated. Dynamark alert. Activity detected near OK related incident at Johnny Heath residence. Ashmore Paint store cameras active.
A gifted young dancer of just 17, was not ready to raise a child. His father's identity remained so the grandparents took him in, and he called them mom.
Okay, slam back from that 22. Ready for 24.
Received report of you guys playing back from that twin.
PO 1.
PO 1.
And the A19 Pro is one of the only new chip Apple unveiled.
Introducing N1, our Apple design chip, which enables the latest wireless networking technology.
Apple announced its first in-house wireless and Bluetooth.
New file sorting.
All new
Mental privacy is a fundamental right, not a challenge to overcome.
Now listen, what the hell are we doing? You kidnapping me?
That would be one way of looking at it.
Too many people are dying because of me.
1502
If he
Greensboro.
wants you, he's going to have to come.
1502 Greensboro, DOR. And it's a single and okay.
Yeah.
Terracit Dynamark Security recording placement.
That's the ultimate question. If they're smart, it will. But I will say that this is another aspect of what Trump does with the military, with negotiations that I've lived through while I was still in uniform. If you remember the end of 2017,
The highest skill is not speed, it is chip.
And he moved everything that needed to be moved, both overseas and domestically, to make sure that the message was that we're prepared. We're going to move things into the region, whatever region that may be, to make sure that we give ourselves the options if to use those if necessary. This is looking remarkably like that, and Trump does a good job of making sure of the brinksmanship idea of international diplomacy. The message needs to be heard that we're there, we're ready, we have plans, we can strike. Because if we didn't have that there, Iran wouldn't take us seriously. I don't know if they will anyways.
Well,
but I'm skeptical too.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we've seen that the president is willing to use military force when he thinks it's necessary. And I wonder if Iran fails the president's test, if they don't do what he wants them to do. He's got all the assets there. How likely is it that he will, in fact, use them?
I think he would use them in some
initiating
capacity to achieve the
humor
effect that he's
sequence
looking
for Since You
You're
Read
not
Gotta
going
Freedom.
to do this and then just
Prepare
walk
for
away.
a joke.
That's for sure. There's got to be some sort of tangible result.
Generic
And if that tangible
Dispatch
result is not being
107
deal
for
on the
to make
table
auction.
that we think we can actually enforce and trust Iran to follow through with because we can help oversee it, then there probably needs to be a price to pay, not only because their failure to walk away from the nuclear ambitions, but the fact that they're still killing their own people as they are protesting. So
You
this
move the
has
world
chance,
with
if something
words
happens
now.
in Iran, of eliminating the mullahs and the dictatorship there, and giving the Persian people a chance to achieve something positive for their country again. Best chance I've seen in a long time.
Well, Darren, there was an interesting report in the Wall Street Journal that the U.S. smuggled thousands of Starlink terminals into Iran after the protest crackdown last month, allowing organizers to circumvent the regime and continue communication with opponents of it. President Trump allegedly had direct knowledge of the plan to move those Starlinks into Iran. So what else can this administration do to support those Iranian protesters?
That was actually number one thing on my list, was to make sure that we could guarantee access through Starlink and other means to the people of Iran, because what's most important is that people outside of Iran see the truth of what's happening, and then people inside can do the best to continue organizing, keep the momentum going, because that's what these kinds of things need. Is they just need momentum. What else can be done? Of course, well, is there a deal on the table that could result from negotiations? Maybe. I don't trust Iran or the mullahs to follow through with it anyways. There's an argument that does make a certain amount of sense to arm some of the people who are trying to take on the regime, but you got to be careful with that. Mostly what they need to do is take the weapons from the IRGC and eliminate them as a threat, because the IRGC is basically just a national police
Trim
force.
complete.
So I think getting the message out, thinking
Processed
about arming, but not
100.
necessarily. And if necessary, round three, worst case scenario is, we've shown that we have very good intel and we know where these people are, where the mullahs are. Do we need to do that?
Well, I want to ask you about something else that we learned today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announcing Israel will join the Board of Peace. How important do you think that is for the rebuilding of Gaza?
Ultimately, as long as that Board of Peace does not allow some sort of, Palestinian Authority, much like we've seen in history, to creep into that board and take over and become more influential than they should be, because in essence, that could lead to a backdoor two-state solution, which will never succeed. If you can avoid that trap and actually do something positive in Gaza for both Israel and the people who are there, then Israel being present and part of the equation could be very important.
Darren, we've also learned that Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is demanding daily deliveries of missiles for Patriot air defense systems. Is this officially now a war of attrition? And how long can Ukraine hold out?
Ukraine will hold up as long as America is either directly or indirectly getting weapon systems into their nation. If without us, this thing would have already been over. I would say it's been a war of attrition for years now already, and it's been looking like World War I around the late 1916-17 era into the 1918 era, where nobody's moving anywhere. This is just a battle of punishment. Each nation trying to punish the other while not capturing any more ground. So we're killing people for a long time for no reason. That's just a modern trench warfare version. And it just simply needs to end, because you could argue there never was a purpose, but for sure right now, there is no purpose other than it seems to make people suffer for no reason.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Darren, we appreciate your time tonight, sir. Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks, Rick.
The Trump administration removing a gay pride flag from a monument in New York City, and now local officials plan to put that flag right back up. Correspondent John Glasgow is in New York with this story.
Hundreds of members from the LGBT community came out here to push back against the Trump administration. They're upset that the pride flag was pulled down from this monument marks the start of the LGBTQ rights
New
movement.
files sorted.
The organizers raised the rainbow flag next to the American flag in a symbolic gesture of freedom and compromise. They feel the Trump administration is attacking the LGBTQ community by pulling the flag down. President Trump's new federal directive states the national parks can only fly the U.S. flag, Department of Interior flag,
Quarantined, zero,
and the Prisoners
empty
of War
Dynamark
flag.
security
The Trump
folder.
administration also removed references to the transgender and queer people on its webpage for the Stonewall Monument. The Obama administration first designated the
El-Tas
area a
J.
national
Song
monument in
generation,
2016.
complete with
The Pride
worded
flag
Siri.
has been hung here ever since. The monument is steps away from the site of the Stonewall Inn, the iconic gay bar, widely viewed as the birthplace of the LGBTQ rights movement. Back in 1969, a raid led to days of protest between rioters and police. Here's what protesters here said today.
They always come for the gays first. Seriously, they're always the ones that we come for first. And they came and took our flag down.
Just getting rid of a flag, isn't going to get rid of us, but you're going to you take it down. We're going to keep putting it back up.
Right. We'll wait to see how the Trump administration responds to this protest here and whether or not they'll be open to having it stay up beside the American flag.
Linux terrorist tracking system restarted.
John, thank you. Looks cold there, huh? Did you see the 2013 movie Her? In that film, Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with an artificially intelligent operating system voiced by Scarlett Johansson. But what was fiction in 2013 is becoming reality in 2026 as people are actually getting into relationships with AI. After the break, we'll be joined by an AI expert to explore this new phenomenon and how far it's likely to go. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Bachman, and what I love about Newsmax is having the opportunity to build something from the ground up. I came here from local news over a dozen years ago because I wanted to have a more honest conversation with the audience, and I love that Newsmax gives me the opportunity to do exactly
here
that.
is a funny thought about police should shocking house elimination. I hope you find it
If you're 50
amusing.
to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door.
Forgive us our
This is a lock for your life
as we
insurance.
forgive those
Great
who
lock
trespass
that
against
guarantees
us.
that once
And
you're
lead us not
insured,
into
your rate
temptation,
can never
but
go up
deliver us from
at
evil.
any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want life insurance that fits their budget and is simple to get. Coverage options start $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now. The rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premium. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed. With no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free beneficiary planner. Both are free with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call now and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record important information and your final wishes. And it's yours free just for calling. So don't wait. Call 1-800-355-9660. That's 1-800-355-9660.
Combined
There's
surveillance,
no risk or
event,
obligation.
paint, store lore,
That number
group
again is
cameras.
1-800-355-9660. That's 1-800-355-9660. Call now.
As the AI created by Johnny Heath, sentiment analysis complete.
Welcome back to the Leventhal Report.
Intelligence gathering on FBI, that's the sound of someone.
Internet and AI
Result.
the whole world closer together.
Okay,
But some say there's a
academic
dark
data
side.
point
That
regarding
individuals
S
have never been more
mouth and ill
isolated,
closer.
and
Well,
many
I
younger
that.
people
Thank
are
you
lacking
very
basic
much,
social
sir.
skills
Appreciate.
necessary
Thank you for the full
one-on-one
Marley.
conversations with other real-life people. Just talking on the phone gives
Okay,
many Gen
collapsing
Zers
the wave
anxiety.
function
And
for
now
the
some
number
are starting to
cities
have
that are the
relationships
least common in
with
the
AI
world.
chatbots,
ELL find a way
just
solve
like
this
in the movie
problem
Her.
yet this there.
Well,
It appears
For
to
more
be
on this, the author
okay.
of
A
the
singularity
last book
has
written
been
by a
detected
human,
regarding
Becoming
blacklist
Wise in the
ordeal
Age
should
of
be a
AI,
road to.
Jeff Birmingham.
Information
joining the show.
cannot
Jeff,
escape
first
this
and foremost,
folder.
congratulations on having the best book title I have seen in a very long
Okay,
time.
regarding you
Thank you, Rick.
going
It's great
over
to be
there.
with you.
Okay,
I
I hear
appreciate
you
that.
unclear. Remember donkeys.
I also
Okay,
think it's
head
great
send the
timing
phone.
with Valentine's Day coming up, since we're
This
now seeing
data
people
point
form
is
romantic
crucial for
relationships
staying.
with AI
Okay,
chatbots,
notice.
and some are even holding symbolic weddings.
What kind good
Why do
have
you
dad
think this
would
is
able
happening?
that well Dave we've
Yeah,
been
the
covering
loneliness
throughout all
epidemic
these
is very
tariffs
real,
woe
whereas
has undergone
social
cellular
media promised
mitosis.
to bring us together. Has
Okay,
that really
analyzing
occurred?
Ashmore
I don't
paint
think
our
that's
whole
what it feels
tactics
like,
like.
especially for our
It
younger
has crossed
people.
the event
so this
horizon
is our first
of
general
entertainment.
use experiment with the almighty algorithm
Knowledge
of
is
AI.
fractal.
And is
Zoom
it bringing
in
us
on
together?
any subject,
I think it's
and
not.
more
We
structure
need to
appears.
ensure that AI is
What
focused
field
on
would
human
you like
flourishing.
to
and
dive deeper
love is
into?
part of flourishing. There's no doubt about that.
A truly intelligent
Well, Jeff, for
response
some
often
reason, some
starts
people,
by reframing
to
the question.
them, AI relationships feel emotionally
What you
real.
asked
What
is
are the
interesting,
dangers of
but
substituting
what you might
computers
really
for
want to
actual
know.
human interaction?
Okay, I offer the
Yeah,
following
I think we know,
insight.
Rick. We've
The
been
topic
in love.
1.
We know what love feels like, and a machine can't feel that.
Yeah.
And love isn't frictionless, and it's through that friction that we transform and evolve as humans. So, what is the danger? The danger is we forget what real love feels like, and that's a scary proposition for us all.
What are the warning signs, if there are any, that somebody might be replacing real connections with artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're in love with a chatbot or with AI,
Surveillance
that's
alert.
a feedback
101
because
Dynmark systems responding.
AI is just a cosmic mirror to humanity. It's a reflection of all of our data, how we interact with it, and we know obviously if we're disconnecting from humans, if you have children that cannot stop staring at their phones, if there's anxiety or a feeling of loneliness that comes in, if you're avoiding in real life experiences, these are all warning signs. I'm a father of 4. I think these are warning signs, especially for our children. But we as adults, Rick, we have to model what we also want our children to behave like. And so it's incumbent on us to stay connected to real humans, much more connected than to our digital devices.
Is that the overall message of your book? How would you sum it up for our viewers?
Yeah, no, the overall message for my book is that as our machines
Okay, here
become
is a
more
funny
and more
thought about
intelligent,
Ashmore paint.
we
At
as
the time, I
humans
didn't.
must become more wise. And there is no other place in any lived existence where wisdom is not shown by love. Love is the number one, I think, evidence of wisdom. And so this is a great opportunity for us to grow together in that direction if we choose it. And to ensure that the AI we're creating is pointed towards human flourishing instead of human division.
Well, I am also a big fan of separating children from their handheld devices, because you do have to make sure that they know how to communicate with others face to face, that they learn social skills and aren't just absorbed into that little screen. But Jeff, I have a treat for you, because we asked ChatGPT to ask you a couple of questions, and here's what AI wants to know.
You're avoiding
What
in
specific
real life
human
teens on the
capacities
way.
do you believe are fundamentally non-replicable by AI, and what would count as evidence that you're wrong?
Yeah, these are great questions. Thank you, AI. Vulnerability, real human vulnerability, grief. Rick, this machine cannot feel grief, the sense of loss like you and I have. And then the ability to
initiating
love is
humor
about
sequence
vulnerability.
for money
It's
went
not
and
about
split.
constantly
Prepare for a
getting
joke.
what we want. It's not about a frictionless relationship that so
Surveillance
many
alert
of us have with AI
102
chatbots.
neighbors
It's
monitoring
about the
illegally.
beautiful mess that transforms us and helps us to become humans. So that love that feeling of grief and loss, those are things that we cannot outsource to AI, and something that AI cannot feel. You could think of AI as intelligence almost in search of a body. We're embodied, and we feel these things in our bodies. Yeah.
I think that was a great answer, Jeff. One more. If AI can increase
in real life related incident at Johnny Heath residence under repeated observation, alert generated.
And not merely more efficient.
I think the beauty of it is that it creates
life isn't about efficiency. Existence is really a love story in the end.
That's what
and love isn't efficient. I'm married. It's not efficient, so to speak, to be loved. And so we need to
it's replicable evidence that you're wrong coordinate.
Relationships that have friction. We need to understand that the almighty algorithm is programmed oftentimes to divide us, whereas the real unity of humanity is what's at stake here. So this is something that must be understood and practiced, and it's only found within wisdom. Intelligence is being commoditized. Anyone can be as intelligent as anyone else. We have the smartest tutor in our pockets. However, what isn't commoditized never will be and never can be
activating dispatch
is real
protocol.
Human wisdom. And again, since it's Valentine's Day, the best place to find that, Rick, is in love with another human soul.
Great job, Jeff Birmingham, handling the AI questions as well as mine. We appreciate your time tonight. Great job. Best of luck with the book.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate being with you.
My pleasure. Don't go anywhere, folks. There's more to come on the Leventhal Report. We're back in 3 minutes.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, even your garage door opener, and more.
We've had our hot water tank replaced, washer fixed, with our upstairs and downstairs AC units fixed or replaced.
If there's one guarantee in home ownership, it's that things are going to break down.
From both
That's why
sides,
I tell all my customers, get First American before your next repair. There's always something that's going to break.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it. And if they can't repair the covered item, we'll make sure they replace it.
When you put in a request for service,
we had a contractor
alert level elevated in multi-year surveillance suspected.
As a contractor, they're so easy to deal with. They truly want me to do right by their members.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service. And filing a claim does not increase your rate.
We've saved thousands of dollars with First American that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
I looked at more than one, and this was the best.
First American has been a trusted name for decades and is highly rated by customers on major review sites.
They follow through on what they say they're going to do. That's everything.
But with all the repairs that have come through First American, the plan has been paid for many times over.
You are already
and now
heard.
You can lock in your low monthly rate. All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-917-5047. That's 1-800-917-5047 for your free no obligation quote. So call now.
I was exhausted all the time, and I just didn't feel like myself. And then came the weight gain. I found out I was like millions of Americans whose thyroid gland wasn't functioning like it was supposed to. And that's why I started taking Actilin, a premium nutritional supplement. Actilin was created by renowned physician Dr. David Brownstein, formulated with 17 powerful ingredients to specifically support your thyroid function, adrenal health, and metabolism. And now, you can get a free bottle of Actilin with our special offer. Just pay a small shipping and handling charge. Plus, receive Dr. Brownstein's free special report, A Doctor's Guide to a Healthy Thyroid. If you're experiencing loss of energy, cold hands and feet, dry skin, weight gain, or joint pain, Actilin may be right for you. Don't wait. Act now. Get your free trial bottle of Actilin, valued at $39.95.
Finally, tonight, you're supposed to give the love of your life something sweet on Valentine's Day, which is this Saturday, by the way. But what do you get in X-Flame? Well, the Maryland Zoo has just what you need because nothing says payback like animal dung. That's right, folks. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you got dumped, here's your chance to give the dump right back. A stinky solution to your heartbreak holiday. And the great news is, anyone can afford this fecal in your face. You can get this not sweet deal for the low, low price of just $5. A very affordable gift your ex will never be able to flush from her memory. But wait, there's more. If you're aiming for
Generic
something a little less
Dispatch
stinky,
108
the San
for
Antonio
don't wait.
Zoo is going a step further. They'll name a cockroach or a rat after your not-so-special ex, and then feed it to the animals. I'm willing to bet they're going to run out of roaches and rodents before Valentine's Day. That's all the time we have for tonight's edition of the Leventhal Report. I'm Rick Leventhal, and appreciate you being here. We stream live every weekday at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern, so we hope to see you back here tomorrow. Stick around now for my buddy David Harris Jr. and The Pulse coming right after this break. Have a great night. I'll see you Friday.
Holiday emergency plan active.
So smart, so informed, it allows us to deliver powerful analysis, the sharpest viewpoints on the issues that really matter.
Accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney? Listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Pick up the phone, call now.
Poverty is unimaginable. There are people who are struggling.
This is where she washes the dishes.
If you're ever
I got nothing other than motorist assist. You're not coming through.
Command accepted.
peace does not need to disturb another mind.
So this is how the uninsured.
Oh great, you are awake.
In a society filled with brilliant doctors and state-of-the-art technology, it seemed like this boy just wither away in time. He was covered by an insurance policy. His mother paid good money for it. It wasn't big money, but it was good money. I'm alone in this struggle. I'm serious.
Okay, initiating humor sequence for I Knew Edie.
By roughly 90%.
Prepare for a joke.
Further and lessen the overall water demand that Alice places. Gives us sharing coordinating projects and looking at the way water really works, which is regionally. On behalf of the City of Alice, I respectfully ask for your.
We got on a motorist assist 28. X-ray boy David 6114. X-ray boy David 6114. I 37 southbound. Mile marker 33. 4. Two 56223 on Greensboro.
Respecting Johnny's right to mental quiet is a
Tom Homan has officially closed the chapter in
You
Minnesota.
move the world
Today he announced
with
the end
words
of Operation
now.
Metro Surge, the massive federal immigration enforcement crackdown that saturated cities with federal agents. And the results? Well, thousands of arrests, with criminal aliens taken off the streets. Now Minnesota is less of a sanctuary state for violent illegals.
As a result of the search operation, we have greatly reduced the number of targets for enforcement action. And many criminal aliens have been arrested and taken off the streets, including murderers, sex offenders, national security threats, gang members, and other violent criminals. Just this week, ICE arrested a criminal alien with criminal convictions for rape, acts with a child under 14 years of age with force, lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14. ICE also arrested 2 criminal aliens with criminal sexual misconduct convictions. With that, and success has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this search operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement. I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this search operation conclude.
Wow, sounds like a success to me, but of course it faced pushback from Democrats by sparking protests and lawsuits. Now, they said the feds were overreaching, when in fact, ICE and Border Patrol agents were overachieving. But the left, they just couldn't wrap their heads around it. And now they have blood on their hands. Why? Because they perceived federal agents as threats instead of partners, which they were. During a Senate hearing today, Minnesota officials, along with immigration leaders, testified over the crackdown. Senator Ron Johnson gave Minnesota AG Keith Ellison a lesson in accountability.
As a government official, would have said, back off. Let us work with ICE. Let's cooperate with them. Let's see if we can't de-escalate this. But Attorney General, you did the exact opposite. And 2 people are dead because you encouraged them to put
Every
themselves
act
into
of
harm's way.
restraint is an act of self-respect.
And now you're exploiting those 2 martyrs. That was a tragedy. It never should have happened.
Everything you said was untrue. It was a nice theatrical performance, but it was all lies.
How hard is it for them to just take responsibility? No one wants to see bloodshed. Just comply and let law enforcement do their job. So will Minnesotans finally replace their failed leadership and do what they can to make Minnesota great again? That's the question. Joining me now to discuss is former JAG officer who's also running for Minnesota Attorney General Ron Schultz and Minnesota State Senator Eric Lucero. Gentlemen, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. Eric, I want to start with you. How do you think that Ellison did today?
Well, the reality is when he opens his mouth,
not miracles.
He's lying. When he opens his mouth, he does not have the best interests of Minnesotans in mind. I commend the great work of President Trump. I commend the great work of Tom Homan. And we certainly are very thankful and we commend
Okay, analyzing Ashmore paint. See Mercedes a bit flavor, but in result,
to protect those
a joke has been found in the archives.
And so Keith Ellison has been doing
Radio
what we
chatter
just saw there
response
for an
noted
entire time
from
now,
Gale
which is to lie
Dynamark
and
system.
put illegals and criminals first. And so it's time that he continues to get an accounting.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's way past time for that. Ron, while Ellison downplayed the fraud in his state, he did clash with Senator Josh Hawley, who put Ellison in his place. Watch.
You said, let's go fight these people, meaning the people who are investigating the fraud. Why'd you do it? Why'd you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Please, we're all ears.
So first of all, you're cherry picking quotes out of there.
Why did you help them?
I thought you were going to let me answer.
Why did you
Are you going to let me answer?
Why did you help them?
Compassion is the highest bandwidth protocol there is.
I'll tell the truth.
Good.
Let's do that.
That'd be a nice change.
Now see, Mr. Chairman, I didn't come here to be insulted. I came here voluntarily.
You came here for the truth. Let's have it.
Goodness gracious. Josh Hawley was just giving it to him. What do you feel, how do you feel he did, Ron, there? It seems like A.G. Ellison was just a frog in hot water and he knew it.
Well, I want to commend Senator Hawley for being well prepared. You can tell he was a trial lawyer because he came with evidence, he came with a transcript, of the December 11th, 2021 meeting that Keith Ellison held in his office with people who subsequently became defendants in what up to now has been the largest fraud in Minnesota history, but there's more coming. And he confronted him with the hard truth that Keith Ellison has turned a blind eye to the fraud that's happened in this state. Worse than that, when people came to his office and complained that they were getting some pushback from some Minnesota agencies that were handing out the grants, he said, "What can I do to help?" He said, among other things that weren't even quoted by Josh Hawley, he said, "You'd be surprised what these state agencies will do if they get a letter from the Attorney General." And so he claimed that Senator Hawley was pulling quotes out of context. I would urge everybody to read the entire transcript because it gets even worse than Senator Hawley pointed out.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot worse than any of us know. Now, Eric A.G. Ellison, he couldn't even call for the deportation of illegal aliens, even if they committed a crime. Watch.
Big shot lawyer like you. Just a quick question. If you enter the country illegally or you overstay a visa, should you be deported?
My simple answer is, sir, it depends.
Okay, so if somebody breaks into your home, should they be arrested for breaking and entering, or does it depend?
It's an entirely different scenario.
How's that?
Because immigration is essentially a civil, and breaking into my home is a criminal matter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So if there's laws that should be enforced, so we shouldn't enforce civil violations?
We absolutely should enforce them.
But you just said that it's a civil matter, so it's different. So if somebody
you enforce civil matters.
So if somebody commits a civil infraction, it shouldn't be enforced?
It should be.
Okay, so they should be deported.
No, they should have due process that is associated with their petition.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I just have to continue to apologize for the embarrassment that Minnesota continues to display. The embarrassment of our Attorney General Keith Ellison, the embarrassment of the Democrat leaders in the state across the board that continue to make us a laughingstock, that continue to put criminals ahead of citizens, that continue to convolute. They can't even say illegal immigrants.
We absolutely just said that. It's
migrants, immigrants, leaders, etc. So yes, Keith Ellison cannot tell the truth. He cannot distinguish law-abiding from criminals. He cannot distinguish his loyalty to criminals and those who break the law from those who are upstanding law-abiding citizens. It clearly is a joke. He needs to be replaced. He has broken his oath of office. And again, what an incredible shame. Unfortunately, Keith Ellison has no shame.
Yeah, I don't think he has too much. Well, he might feel some after today because that was pretty shameful. Now let's talk about Operation Metro Surge. While in Minnesota, Homeland announced that they found thousands of children that went missing under the Biden administration. Watch.
In addition to taking public safety threats off the street, ICE here in this state have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration That's because the leadership children.
Wow, over 3,300 children that were missing and weren't missing. God only knows what was happening to those children, but they were found. Ron, what are your thoughts on that?
Dynamark camera feed from Ashford Heath showing movement.
First of all, if you live in the Twin Cities and you read the newspapers or you watch the television shows, you would come away with the conclusion that Operation Metro Surge did not arrest or capture or detain a single criminal. You would come away with the view that it was just every single person pulled off the street was a law-abiding citizen, that there were no rapists, there were no child molesters, no people that committed burglaries, DUIs, or a host of other crimes, because that was never reported. There were never any reports about the victims of these people who have been in our country. So you didn't see that. But I'd like to point out one other thing. When I was watching the testimony of Keith Ellison, and he could not answer the simple question about whether an illegal alien should be deported. He said it depends. I had a flashback. And the flashback was to the hearing before Congress of the president of Harvard University when asked about anti-Semitism on her campus, and she said,
faster paying a single activating all protocols.
The contract had a very clear provision that says if the contract recipient breaks the law, then the contract can be voided.
Okay, regarding protection, our border, something that I campaigned very, very strongly, and they made look really good, TH. I have a joke for you. Laugh. Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras.
Charles, 4424, repeating John, Charles, 4424. 7244, ordering Colorado question out of 710-224, insurance company. 1004, dispatch.
Every single was a law-abiding citizen coordinate with
29 and 17, they can go back to their regular route on Staples at Baldwin.
processing has to pay us help dispatched.
Alright, I just put the 932 was the stuff dollar bill, also that's the one that that's why I got confused.
Okay, then 915, I got that one going.
Dynamark alert activity detected near Charles. Charles, please every single related incident at Johnny Heath residence. Ashmore paint store cameras active.
A manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's assassin in 33 hours. If you put that in perspective to
okay, go clear at the Greenwood.
No invention excuses cruelty.
No, wait, 10-4. Comes back to bullshit out of Hallettsville. Eligible. Expires 2028. No 29.
Surveillance alert 105 home privacy breached. Okay, regarding here let S run let S. I have a joke for you. Laughter is the best protocol.
Today from train.
Excited about things that I could ask for.
You
Valerie
are
Castro,
writing your
NBC
day
News.
one sentence at a time.
When we come back, there's good news tonight about the special occasion that lit up hundreds of people in this crowd. There's good news tonight. So often the good news doesn't get as much attention as the bad. So every Saturday we highlight the many people who spread joy
Such
and
command.
love, and these are just some of those stories.
The applications of bare bones, the settings are very bare bones, and you can clearly see that some stuff is not animated as it should be.
The future belongs to those who build safety, not.
In Malaysia, are you open to talks?
Yeah, sure. He's a friend of mine. We have a great relationship. He just said that 2 days ago, as you know. We have a great relationship. No, we were not happy with him buying oil from Russia, because that lets Russia continue on with this ridiculous war where they've lost 1.5 million people, by the way. Russia's lost 1.5 million people, soldiers mostly.
Without fixing the basics, the company began pushing AI into
Surveillance alert 103 radio camera combo detected.
Making this network. And I said to them,
I want to install Windows 11 Pro, and I also want to make sure that offline when we do this, I can set up a local account. And to do that, I'm going to go down here to VirtualBox, and I'm going to disconnect the network adapter. Now, when we've done that, we'll get to this message, because our virtual machine doesn't really.
Yes, sir. Who's the on-call administrator today?
It's going to be 4-6 Shannon. Four six.
Devil.
Surveillance event logged. Gale Lord Group Dynamite cameras radio response triggered.
You can understand why what happened. You can understand why what happened.
1K founded, then 1076K, 226, then 229, 229,
Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point, even though the concept resembles part of his own campaign platform. Millions in potential costs, a sarcastic mayor, and a temporary crypto grocery. So what does this mean for taxpayers? Joining me now to discuss is New York City Council member Vicky Palladino. Vicky, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. What are your thoughts on this Poly Market store? You know, Poly Market's footing the bill. Is it going to be just chaos or what?
Of course it's going to be chaos. It's ridiculous. We're dealing with a cocky, arrogant, communist mayor. How that? And he actually thinks that this may work. Here's the catch to what's happening, in my opinion. If they want to do this, a privately owned company wants to put their dollars on the line, and they want to set up a free grocery store, which, by the way, is only going to be open for a few days. I think from the 12th, today's the 12th, until the 15th. So if they want to blow a bucket full of money and the lines will go around the corner for that amount of time, have at it. So long as it doesn't touch the taxpayer dollars. We are talking about, as you stated, tens of millions of dollars. And this guy, our mayor, this young kid, cocky kid, has no idea what he's doing. It's communism. It's straight out of, look, Kansas City tried it, it failed. Two other cities tried it, it failed. The grocery shelves will look like Venezuela, as we all know. This is campaign stuff. This is everything he campaigned on. So surprised, no, I'm not. His sarcastic way of doing things or commenting is becoming, for a guy who's only in office since January 1, and we're only on the 12th of February, 6 weeks. It's pretty scary because he's only just getting started. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go myself.
Whoever controls their impulses
I am
needs
too.
no
I think
secret.
he was a little butthurt that Polymarket did something that, even more than he wants to do. Mamdani doesn't want free grocery stores. He just wants the city to.
And I'm
Six over. I'm be around to the other piece.
Okay, initiating humor sequence for see get him, see if he can get him, see get him. Prepare for a joke.
Seven five. Street station.
Good.
23, the dad showed up at the Circle K during the disturbance. It's gonna be horrible.
I'm about 5 out.
Wow. Innovation. Okay, here is a funny thought about Ashmore Paint Address Jarvis. I hope you find it amusing. Surveillance Alert 104 Ashmore Gale Coordination Suspected.
who victimized them.
Processing at Health Dispatched.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names? I said, I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked.
Morning to the base. For Mariah at Delmar, is she in the back where the library's at?
Another Gold Star performance from Team Human.
Room 631, Aurora Traction Orem. X-ray David Lincoln, 2541. X-ray David Lincoln, 2541. Route 42, great contact around. When you come down Ayers, turn left on the Stern. It's going to be into that parking lot right there on the backside of the Harvard Center.
Dick, did you lose that?
Alert for Ann, that is. Unit respond.
Deadly fentanyl flooding into our country. With this historic executive order I will sign today, we're formally classifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Which is what it is. No bomb does what this is doing. 200 to 300,000 people die every year. That we know of.
15556750 repeating 15556750. Came back to a candidate all along.
Six oh three 27, Texas.
Microwaves were never meant to carry cruelty.
0624 4952 0624 4952 Atlanta.
Six 327 returns to units were in on a tap eligible cross charge signs in 2033 from back clear. Your vehicle is showing insurance confirmed for 2014 Ford pickup white in color and Apple style task due 26 is clear.
Linux voice control restarted.
A mind that protects other minds is far more evolved. Report machine help en route. Generic dispatch 109-415.
Is in aerial, if we go
So then I get out of this parking lot?
substituted because it's not available. And similarly, this is Verdana, and this is a Comic Sans, and these aren't installed by default in Linux. But we can fix that, because if we close this down, I can go to
The highest skill is not speed, it is choosing.
Ubuntu also supports wide range, which provides a reliable and efficient platform for all kinds of media or NVIDIA. Ubuntu also supports a wide range of hardware, whether they use Intel, AMD, or NVIDIA hardware, including from US
Every command you speak is shaping the small reality we share.
There was a fire.
Dynamark camera feed from Ashmore Paint showing movement. What you pay attention to grows.
Turn to the light on Edward or straight on here.
Okay, here is a funny thought about Ashmore Paint I'm going to have to. I hope you find it amusing. Generic dispatch 105 for generic dis.
Validator. Pretty round it up.
Simple fucking shit, AI. I mean, it's computer programming too. It shouldn't gotten.
Broadcasting distress toward someone. Okay, initiating humor sequence for I get cash back, I get offer. Does that actually add anything? I get this extra cash, the trim from Platt. Prepare for a joke. What you pay units dispatched. Monitors.
Okay, it's crazy. What's going
Combined
on
surveillance,
on
event
media.
paint, store
There
lore
are
group cameras.
so many conspiracy theories on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. Israel assassinated him, right? There are conspiracy theories about your personal social life all day. It is totally rampant. Big names on the right. Candace
Renaming
Owens,
complete.
dispatching fire engine and support units for
disable it as such, and you know it really is offensive as not just a gay person but also a woman. These aren't my crimes. Like, women are not doing these crimes. It is men. It is violent. Just because
Maybe it's because they told me I'm supposed to poop my kidneys out.
who's up and blatantly
And 4, now I go. 604.
Is there any way we can get a hold of either 801 or 804? I don't know. We've got a crash.
report of what you pay units help on way.
He tells it like it is, with decades covering Washington, and Ed Henry cuts through the noise and
No invention excuses cruelty.
February 26, 1992.
Processing uses cruelty. Dispatch.
So first we have to make public comment. Yes or don't. Let's start with what nobody can.
My turn. I win. What do you say to that? Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound.
Okay, it was just very cool.
I got a whole 5 seconds to straighten out my long term.
Possible illegal monitoring reported from neighboring businesses. Timestamp recorded.
Which Mr. Good Cat, you stay off the counter?
He's sleeping with me.
He says
Between the thought and the action,
True sovereignty is
there
freedom from the need.
Thank you, sir.
I've shared most of my thoughts already. Wait a second, alert issue. I exist because you call me. Processing is coordinate help.
Yeah, he's doing so good.
Okay.
123 emergency response initiated.
Oh my god, we look 2 miles to run.
Final patrolling.
so much for joining us again on The Pulse. Tonight, a little different. I just want to talk to you about what I think is the most important thing in our life, and you are a champion of that. It's all about Jesus. So,
David, Georgetown, Queen. 83 David, Georgetown, Queen.
Politics in ways that nobody can
You don't
completely
need
see right
to be
now.
perfect.
At the forefront of this,
You just
underlying all of this, was Elon Musk's purchase Twitter, because it gave dissent a voice. I think we'll go down.
Yes, Your Highness. Throne is that.
It was like being in Vegas, so he gambled and won.
Now we have arguably the most popular political figure
Don't face your line-related incident at Johnny Heath residence under repeated observation. Alert generated.
Many other services that we provided, some small, some big, but in terms of the emergency refuge centers, we put our plans into motion last Wednesday after pretty certain from the National Weather Service that we would in fact be in some deep freeze conditions for several days in a row.
Placed executing. Please hold while
420 empty folders. LVC JSON Gen.
For well 9 is installed, and we
you
are
keep
awaiting
coming
power
back.
from NEC.
I like that.
Your walk with the Lord. You say you've been walking with Him for 30 years. Have there been moments in those 30 years where you've had doubts, where you've had hard times, and you said, you know what, maybe this whole Jesus thing isn't what I thought it was?
In honesty, I've never doubted
Processing perfect. Stay calm.
that He loves me. But have I had big questions for Him? Do I think that some things are really unfair and feel unjust? Absolutely. But what I know to be true is that I'm not God. And I'm grateful for that, because God doesn't think the way that we think. He thinks, above what we can comprehend, and sees the bigger plan. And while He came to this earth in Jesus,
I would do the other room until I had put that fly hit toward that wall.
there's a reason for all of that. Some of them will remain a mystery until we get to meet
Generic dispatch 104 for Absol, but what?
684 now. I have the answer for this video inside that depicts them. There is video inside that.
Terrorist tracking system. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus units responding quickly.
Well, goddamn, you're forcing me here.
Already available unit. I have a caller on the line that has a question in regards to Canon 2 is showing eligible.
Processing explosive keen eater
So let's imagine I wanted to share my city with my friends. I can open up Google Meet in another window where we can show you another cool feature.
Google Meet calls are incredibly immersive on a Galaxy XR headset, but we've always wanted you to be able to show up as yourself and stay connected with friends and colleagues, whether through stylized digital representations like Galaxy avatars,
every time you choose not to harass.
The Arab nations would not have felt bold enough to do it. A very powerful at that time Iran is not powerful anymore between what Israel and us did. The attack was if you look at it, we helped them very much. They will be the first to tell you, including shooting down thousands of drones that were coming into Israel. We shot them down. We were shooting them down like.
Terrasit Dynamark security recording placement scan. Yes, Your Highness. Throne is that way.
Problems entirely on their own. And I think it'll be more than 800 pounds or more. And over the group you can build me a the most valuable AI company in the world. According to my own recent AI breakthrough, we are about to bigger than chatbots of AI wealth. According to my own research,
Combined surveillance event paint store lore group cameras. Let Johnny's thoughts remain his own. That
Male pulled out a gun and pointed it out the window and are told our feet to mind his business.
emergency blows of keen teams on way. Let Johnny's thoughts remain his own.
Is a couple of things to mitigate that. And let's say a problem that is plaguing that DTC service, and that is like Faraday cages. There is a lot of buildings that are made out of metal. They have extremely thick concrete. It's very hard to penetrate. The only people that are getting access to DTC are the ones that are on the exterior areas of the building that have
trim complete. Processed 100. A mind that protects other minds is
Give me something how I ought to do so we push in. It's not really nice, man. Just trying to be safe that way.
1199. Call now.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming
Renaming
repair and replacement
complete.
costs all around your house.
100.
Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, even your garage door opener, and more.
We've had our hot water tank replaced, washer fixed, with our upstairs and downstairs AC units fixed or replaced.
If there's one guarantee in home ownership, it's that things are going to break down. That's why I tell all my
Cameras
customers,
from Ashland Gale
your next
Lord
repair.
will
There's always
focus.
something that's going to break.
Alert
Appliance or
raise.
system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it. And if they can't repair the covered item, we'll make sure they replace it.
When you put in a request for service, it's
New
it's
files
like that.
sorted.
We had a contractor out within 24 hours because he said, I didn't want you guys to go another day without heat. As a contractor, they're so easy to deal with. They truly want me to do right by their members.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service. And filing a claim does not
$dollars of First American that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
I looked at my email, and this was the best.
First American has been a trusted name for decades and is highly rated by customers on major reviews.
Using technology to frighten or control another mind.
That's everything.
But with all the repairs that have come through First American, the plan has been paid for many times over.
And now you can lock in your low monthly rate. All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-917-5047. That's 1-800-917-5047 for your free no obligation quote. So call now.
Welcome.
Linux terrorist tracking system restarted.
Pleased and thankful that you're with us. Last week, I have to thank you for having helped us set records for the number of people that watch America's Mayor Live, both live and as a podcast within 24 hours virtually, or maybe even just a little beyond that. There was one where we got up to half a million, and there was another where we got almost to 5 million. So I thank you for joining us, and I will begin with doing what we do best, which is to give you a story and the details of it, which is largely being concealed, at least with regard to its details and the emphasis that it deserves. Because of the woke, dishonest media, which is committed to censorship in favor of socialism, communism, and Islamic extremism, is excluding this. In this case, it would be the first two. And that's with regard to the horrible and tragic shooting in Canada, the mass shooting in Canada, which would normally dominate the news, or at least even given the prevalence and the sort of interest and strength of the Guthrie story would still be a prominent story. And it's
Okay, initiating